right, we are live, and I'm coming at you with 5. Welcome everybody to another episode of GBoo 2786. Let's see if we can get some people in this chat room right now, just to let them know that I'm going live, because I don't see if I see anything. YouTube studio, hold on a second. Just doing random stuff tonight, guys. Okay, hold on a second. I just really want to do this video to go live with y'all. I'm not, since nothing is going on right now. Everybody is just stationary, at home with everything that's been going on with this coronavirus shit. And, I don't know what else to do. I've tried to be creative. I want anybody during this pandemic, what you guys have been doing, I guess, to stay creative with everything. Things have been, I guess, boring. Are you still working? Are you working from home? If you're not working, I've asked this before, and a lot of people, there are some who I know who are still working, and some I know who have been laid off and not working as a result of this. So just curious how everything is going. But I'm glad you guys are here with me, whoever you are, wherever you are, that you're enjoying the program now. Please leave some comments as well so I can see who's here. We're gonna go hit on random stuff. Can you see I got some stuff? Let me just show you. I got the microphone here, so you guys, if you can hear me, let me know. I'm sure I can hear. Well, I'm doing good with it, but my mic works unlike Teddy Riley's tonight. It was what was up with that? Did anybody see the Teddy Riley versus Babyface on Versus? They were, and Teddy started off. Well, let me rewind it. Babyface obviously had trouble trying to get on Instagram at first because it was supposed to start at 8, and I don't think he started until about 8:45 or so. And Teddy Riley was actually had his crew there, I guess, in his studio, large studio that he rented out. They were setting up everything for him, and he started off fresh and so forth. And then, of course, Babyface did his stuff, a few things that he wrote. I know they did Bobby Brown's song, Don't Be Crude, and so forth. I mean, it was hard to pick between who was going to win, but clearly, and I had Teddy by default since Babyface couldn't work Instagram, but then again, Teddy couldn't fix his audio issues because he kept, it was bad. It was going in and out with the here. Well, you could hear, but it was just too much of an echo, and some people just, didn't care for it. But I saw Babyface posted a video saying to postpone it. Let's do it another day, hour. So I think they're going to try and do it again sometime in the future. And I'd be happy to see it because I like old school R&B, and Babyface, Teddy Riley. I like, obviously, I like Charlie Wilson. I've said that before. Although I like the Gap Band, but if we're talking, that mid to late 80s, the Gap Band was a part of that. They had songs like Wednesday Lover, which is, a great Quiet Storm song that I love. There's also Teddy was with Guy. But he also, I'm sure he produced the Tony stuff with Ralph. His name, y'all know his name, Ralph. It's not Tresvant because that's New Edition. Like them too. God, I should know this, Gavin. Raphael Sadiq. That's it. Raphael Sadiq. Yeah, I'm sorry. Raphael Sadiq. Like those guys. I like. He has a new song. Something keeps calling it me, which was out last year. And those are guys that live and breathe music. And I'm into music myself. So them. So yeah, man. But what do you all? Let's just do this. What do you guys listen to or have been listening to since this been going on? What music has cheered you up, per se, or if you have cheered up? Because even though music and movies are a distraction, it's good to have those things because if we were all serious all the time, we would go nuts. I can't do that, obviously. So, excuse me. I've been watching a lot of movies. I've watched Sonic the Hedgehog like twice already. I've seen The Hunt. I've seen the only movie I want to see is The Gentleman. I've seen The Banker. You guys have seen my review on that. I'm going to be doing some more reviews on some movies coming up this week. I hope you guys will like that too. To check that out. But what movies have you watched? The Hunt was pretty good, and that was controversial. But The Hunt was pretty good because Trump talks shit about it, and I know that there was issues about how it portrayed liberals and issues about how it portrayed conservatives and vice versa. But I thought it was balanced out. It was pretty very interesting movie. Other movies I've seen, The Invisible Man was pretty good. I didn't see The Gentleman. That's one I want to see. I've seen that Rotten Tomatoes has given it like a fresh rating, although that doesn't necessarily mean it was shitting on Dave Chappelle's comedy special last year. All because they couldn't take pro LGBT jokes. So, try to see if I can hear myself in my headset. Okay. So, we got 2 people in the chat room or who are watching now. You guys can say something. Please donate. Yeah, I had to put the man in there, guys, because this is another thing too that we talked about beforehand when we had our brother and friend Sean James on the program. Sean promotes and does his own work. He's a self-published. I know he previously worked with the city at one point, I believe, but he's been doing his own thing. Making money how he sees fit. Working on various projects, books that he's done. He's trying to create possibly a comic book series. So I'm real proud of a guy like that. And to self-publish 70 books, I'm working on another book myself. Actually, 2 that I want to write and get out before the end of the year. But of course, when you talk about book writing and publishing it is different from a let's say a Stephen King or a J.K. Rowling who will get a book deal and will get monies funded for the upfront for the books that they write. Now, of course, everyone pays their dues, and Stephen King started off somewhere, and so did J.K. Rowling. But when you self-publish, it means you're putting up all your money and you're funding everything. Basically, you're producing your own product. You do your promotion, you write your book, and you can do your own editing and changes in it. And to write a book can take a lot of discipline because you're talking about, especially if you're doing a nonfiction, which is what I'm working on. I'm trying to push this out before the end of the year at least, and have it sometime in the fall. But I'm really dedicated to working on it and just structuring how long it would be, working on it and finishing it and finding time for it. You I'll be working again, and I haven't stopped because as an attorney, you never really stop. But I'm gonna be having some projects coming in soon, so I will try to work my time around it. And right now, since everything is cool and chill, I think this week I'm gonna dedicate more and more to it. I actually had my damn computer crash, so I'm using this other laptop that I got here, which is pretty good. I love the Microsoft touchscreens because I think the Apples don't really work too good. I like this, and working on new projects, through this book, through excuse me, through this laptop. I'm screwing up. Yeah, through this laptop, I'm working on new books. Okay, yeah, through this, just working on new projects, and grateful that I'm able to continue and do that. And we're just doing some uh, house cleaning today. I didn't do much of anything. It was I do every day is just run around the neighborhood. When I'm bored or tired, or I watch a movie, or I might type away on my book for a little bit. And I try not to develop writer's block, but it's something that I may just work on one paragraph for the day, just so I could do something. That's just how I felt. See, I'm looking at various some Facebook comments that I have here. Yeah, Teddy is about to lose on Echo. Yeah, I actually put that. So let's see here. Okay, so what I was going to talk about tonight, obviously just random stuff, but you saw the image of Bill Cosby on my feed, and I have the news article here. You can take a look at. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. Give me 1 second. With this coronavirus pandemic, uh, they have been letting prisoners out early. In federal prison, Michael Avenatti, who was the famous ambulance chasing attorney that got convicted for trying to extort money out of Nike, he was released early due to the coronavirus pandemic. Michael Cohen, who was Donald Trump's attorney, President 45, or President Trump's attorney, no matter how you see fit, he was actually released from prison due to the pandemic. And your governor Wolf out in Pennsylvania had provisions in place to release coronavirus, nonviolent offenders, I believe, for in concerning the coronavirus pandemic. And it was in the Fox News article that you'll see here. I've put in the link, but I will share it with you. Uh, that Bill Cosby fight on that. Now, I'm not surprised nor shocked that they would do something like this, because it is very clear from all the information that we've had, and you guys know from my channel, from the interviews that I've had with Tom Mesereau, from videos that I've done, and communicating with others, especially brother Ron Hurd, especially Sister Nicole, from Nicole's view, that it was clear, we know that this was an unfair trial and Bill Cosby got railroaded due to the legal and unethical procedures that were done in that case. That's the main issue, and why he should have never been in jail, and why he should actually be out and released. Now, some people, of course, will say, well, you just taking up for a rapist. You're taking up for that. As if these people paid attention to the trial, which most of them didn't. They probably couldn't name one witness who testified, maybe outside Janice Dickerson, but didn't even know the proceedings and what was going on, all legal ramifications that result from this. Now, I just had it here. Okay, let me read to you right here. Uh, I'm going to read to you all what they said with regards to the Bill Cosby case here. This is from Fox News. It was also reported on Yahoo earlier today. States that Bill Cosby cannot be granted parole. Hold on a second. It goes to a video. Uh, yeah, I didn't mean for that. So hold on a second. This is the video ad. Okay, share screen. Okay, let me know if you guys can see it. All right. Now this is the video. Now to note, there's been a recent due to the coronavirus pandemic. So I didn't want to play the video, but I'll read the article for you. You guys can see here. It says Cosby is currently serving up to 10 years for sexual assault in a facility in Pennsylvania, and a state official tells Fox News that any speculation that Cosby will be able to serve time at home is false. Sex offenders are not eligible under the reprieve criteria, a Pennsylvania Department of Corrections spokesperson said. Of course, they requested his release. And sometime, as you know, I believe last week, Andrew Wyatt told Fox News last month that he was fearful for Mr. Cosby's physical ailments. They say disgraced actors' well-being. Of course, they're not going to repeat the news media in this was clearly biased, as most of you all know. But as you read further, it's not surprising. They state here, Andrew Wyatt said, all victims of the coronavirus and easily spread the disease to Mr. Cosby as they wheel him around in a wheelchair. Among their duties, the inmates bring Mr. Cosby to the infirmary for his doctor's appointments and clean his cell. On Saturday, Wyatt told Fox News in a statement that Cosby's sex offender status should not bar him from serving his sentence at home, since at least 3 staff members at Cosby's facility have died as a result of the novel coronavirus. Because of this pandemic, criteria across this country they have shut down entire states. No one's making money. The government stimulus package was put in place to help people through this pandemic, Wyatt said. All elderly inmates like Mr. Cosby could succumb to this virus. It seems it's more politically motivated and personally motivated to not let this man out. It's very upsetting and disappointing. It is indeed. And according to here, Cosby is currently housed at SCI Phoenix facility in Montgomery County. At least 3 staff members have died of COVID-19. The confusion about Cosby's fate comes amid Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf ordering the Department of Corrections to relocate some current prisoners to their homes or community correction facilities. And you just see some of the comments. Kay says, should have thought about that before he raped. He was not convicted of rape, dumbass. This jello tastes funny. Yeah, I'm not going to even read all of this. But you see the comments, and judging from it, you guys know what I'm talking about. That this is a perfect example. Let me get out of here. But this is a perfect example of not doing your homework. When you repeat things that are not true, you're perpetuating a stereotype that has gotten a lot of black men back in the day and even today, although they don't use trees now, they use the justice system. A lot of black men get lynched through judicial proceedings, and Mr. Cosby was no different. If you did homework and some be fed things, see, this is why I like Dick Gregory. And one thing about him that I could tell you just from knowing him was that, and talking to him, was that he never liked ignorance. If I asked a question, he would want you to go and look up the information yourself. That's the type of person he was. Don't, I wanted to interview one time. I asked, is it possible I could interview one Valentine? You know him? And he was like, that's your job. That's not for me to do. And although it could seem, I didn't think of it that way. I think he was just trying to show me how to be, aggressive and go out and get it. If you're looking to do something, you got to be persistent and push it. Of course, every now once in a while, though, if you're able to help, you should help. And Mr. Gregory did that. And when I interviewed him for my book on Katrina, he didn't require any money. He talked with me for over a couple of hours and with my father, and I still have those tapes. I just got to find for it. If I get my hands on it, I definitely can upload it, and you guys can just listen to it. But it's for you. But yeah, and we're talking about giving. Bill Cosby is a man that has given a lot to this community, despite what he said 10 or 15 years ago with the pound cake speech. He has put his money where his mouth is. He has given hundreds of black colleges and universities. He has kept those schools open that were set to close, like a Grambling, like a Morris Brown, like a Spelman College, $25 million. And yet, none of those colleges that have revoked his doctorates, that have revoked his awards, have even given him his money back, I don't believe. It's very clear that, and especially without having his day in court, because to appeal this, because with this coronavirus pandemic, as you all know, this stuff is, or you don't know, but you should know that it's delaying court proceedings. We're not, unless it's emergency proceedings, most people are avoiding, courthouses are closed now. Of course, they can do virtual hearings with some things, but unless it's an emergency proceeding, accepting people just because of this pandemic. Uh, Here in Louisiana, we have a stay-at-home order till May 16th. It's probably going to get extended. The governor has even said not anytime soon will this thing reopen. And speaking of which, since we're talking about random stuff, did you all see the TMZ picture of these people on the beach in Florida? Because the governor of Florida, I hate quoting TMZ, I really do. but they have reopened the beaches. Okay, I'm gonna put the okay. Coronavirus. Florida beaches packed as Trump urges people to break quarantine. Jacksonville, Florida beachgoers don't seem at all coronavirus deaths and cases on the rise because they hit the same Friday and packed in like sardines. It's a crazy sight as the sun worshippers took their chances by getting in close contact with other beachgoers. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry celebrated the trek to the beach, saying this can be the beginning of the pathway back to a normal life. President Trump is clearly encouraging people to break quarantine with tweets like "Liberate Virginia, liberate Minnesota." He's clearly dog whistling because he threw in this and save your Second Amendment. Not hard to read between the lines. He's telling his stalwarts to ignore the advice of doctors, scientists, their governor, and mayor because they're Americans, damn it. Florida currently has 24,066 coronavirus cases and 726 deaths and counting. Okay. I really hate quoting TMZ guys, and you already know why, because it's basically a tabloid junkie website, and I didn't like the way that they treated Kobe Bryant and his family and those other families on that helicopter. But nevertheless, I put the article up for you to read. Um, and keep in mind, this is the same fucking governor that was trying to quarantine people from New Orleans for coming because New Orleans was a few weeks back, the biggest high, I believe, up in Michigan. I don't think want to say it's Detroit. It might be Flint or Lansing. I'm not sure, but it is up further north. I think they've taken that spot now. Of course, Louisiana, we still have our issues here, but uh, you know, these people were talking about, and the governor of Texas was talking about quarantining visitors from New Orleans, Greg Abbott, and this governor was even talking about it, quarantining them for 14 days. But yet, these motherfuckers found people and not close them. Ron DeSantis, and already there are people that are protesting. Yeah, there are people, of course, since we're talking random stuff, there are people protesting being quarantined uh, for over a month now. Now, I'm not saying that the coronavirus is not real. Uh, it's clearly real. It's clearly a virus. I have my issues of where it may have came from China or where I have my suspicions about it being a weapon. Uh, I'll share that with you all. But certainly, I do think that something is going on here that we have to look out for. Now, I do know that from what Tariq Nasheed said and from the evidence that I saw, that they are not properly testing some individuals who just come in sick and they're just randomly saying, oh, you have the coronavirus, you have the coronavirus. So the numbers are going up when they necessarily don't have a minute number of cases. There was a sister that was even complaining about how they diagnosed her with the coronavirus. She had her mask on and saying, I wasn't even tested. How can y'all do this? I don't even have the symptoms. There was a doctor out of, I believe Tariq Nasheed shared this. There was a senator who was a doctor. Can't think of the state, but he talked about what was going on. They've been ordered by the CDC to do the. They've been recommended that they should change. They should put these numbers in. That they should diagnose the coronavirus even though they haven't been properly tested. And the biggest problem with that is that, as he described, is when you do a death certificate, which is very important because you need a death certificate when you're talking about successions. You know, whether you're talking about cause of death, whether it's murder or homicide or so forth. You know, time is of the autopsy. If you wanted to see what that person died of or what's in their bloodstream at that time, if the chemicals are still present, and they're just randomly doing this without, I guess, without an autopsy being performed. And you can have two causes of death, however. You can, for instance, die of kidney failure, but the primary cause of which would be the primary cause of death, but of course, a secondary cause would be if you had diabetes, complications with diabetes with that. So those things do happen. I do think that, yeah, some of the numbers are getting pushed up purposefully uh, to hype this. I do understand why people are even frustrated because now that people have been home for a month, they're not working, and you have companies, for instance, like Walt Disney. Earlier this week, this is another article I have here. Walt Disney Company laid off over 43,000 employees. Disney World in Florida. See, we back to Florida, Mr. DeSantos. 43,000 staffers at Disney World will be laid off on April 19th, which is Monday. The Service Trades Council Union said that 43,000 employees will be able to file for unemployment benefits in Florida immediately, and those with insurance will retain their medical, dental, and life insurance benefits for up to 1 year. They will pay all 100% insurance costs. Disney will pay all insurance costs. There will be no cost to any employee who's on furlough for use of their medical insurance and the continued coverage of it, the union said in a release. They will also pay Disney for any coronavirus test for employees covered. All employees will be able to return to their jobs after the furlough is over. So people are without money, are without work, and they're frustrated, and understandably so. But of course, your health is the first priority. So I can understand why many of these governors are hesitant with reopening things. Some of us are. And I do think that they should. It shouldn't be like a lot. Essentials definitely should be open. I certainly don't think anything where you can have a large public gathering should be open. I certainly don't think that should be present. That's the article to Variety. Why do I have it as a banner? Sorry, I had it in my comments section. I thought I'm just going to show you those are the different articles that I'm posting. So yeah, it is in chat. Okay, yeah, I realize when I put it in chat, you can put it as a banner as well. So I like StreamYard. So yeah, so all of that's going on, guys. What else is going on in the world? You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Uh, I talked about it's going to be crazy too with the sports season, with sports coming out. They're talking possibly about football games. You wouldn't have obviously a Obviously the Saints games, for instance, here in New Orleans. I was listening to American Trail. They are imagining playing the NFL without any fans, which would be completely. What would be the use of that if you had no fans here in the Superdome, or we call it dome field advantage when they're in the playoffs and they get home field advantage. Hasn't worked out for them good last year. Didn't work out good last year for us, unfortunately. But let's say you have fans here, but you won't have fans here in New Orleans. But what if another state chooses to reopen and they have fans there? Uh, that's interesting. And I think another thing too with the reopening, this is just a thought as well. I think the real reason why they're doing this, why Trump is pushing this, is because he is eventually going to have a reelection. And I think to appease his base who are protesting this, he certainly wants them to remember he's the president that did all of this. And of course, it can work out that way for him, and it also can work out bad if more and more people die and that shit spikes. So, something that the president should consider and think about. Now, getting back to sporting events, yeah, they have not even, the NBA postseason has been postponed. They have not fully decided on whether they are going to cancel it yet. And Adam Silver has stated that the verdict is still out. Now, of course, you have people that have pre-scheduled different events that were supposed to be done, in these stadiums, in these buildings, and all of that is now at least being threatened to be pushed back. At least. So, excuse me. So yeah. So just all of that going on, this is threatening to be pushed back. I was checking my phone, guys. You gotta wonder how long we're gonna be in quarantine. And people, as we see the uprisings in different cities, if this goes on vaccine, there's no cure. I can Lord only imagine what's gonna happen next. And you guys have heard what in a couple of videos before what I thought of what was coming. Now we're not there just yet. Everything's been cool, but there's a possibility it could get like that if people protest, and we got people still at large gatherings. But then again, you got stupid ass public spaces like the beaches to crowds of people. Now, keep in mind, last month when all this stuff about quarantine New Orleans was going on, they were still previously allowed. They still had spring break going on over there in Florida, and you had all of these kids, all of these college students hugged up and close with each other. That eventually, most of them, well, not me, I can't say most, but some of those kids that were there at came forward said they tested positive for COVID-19. So was this so soon that he opened this? And possibly another reason why the governor did this, I don't know if he's running for re-election, but there's money to be made. Obviously, when you have visitors that are coming there to Florida, they love to go to the beach. Who doesn't? That's 3 or 5 people in here. Say something, Dante. I know you're there. Squeaky G. All right, nobody wants to talk. Well, I don't think I'm going to be up too late, guys. Actually, probably just after I do this, I might watch Sonic the Hedgehog again and give you guys a review tomorrow. I think that might good. The movies are out. I've seen Knives Out. I've seen sorry, the Iceman. Excuse me. The Invisible Man. I've seen The Hunt. So there's some movies that I can review, and of course, there are no new movies being distributed now because everything has been pushed back to the end, either the end of the year or until next year. Like the Fate of the Furious was pushed back. I know that James Bond movie, which was actually going to air in March, which I was looking forward to at least hearing about because they changed they tried to demasculate James Bond in the movie where I believe they were giving his old 007 to a woman and basically trying to place Bond in the Me Too era. They were talking about her becoming James Bond when James Bond, of course, is a Welsh white male. It's not even a blonde by terms of the mate, but nevertheless, they added Welsh Scotch to it, the Scotch ancestry, because Sean Connery came in, and Ian Fleming was so impressed with Sean Connery's performance as James Bond that he was James Bond that was added in there. But I was looking forward to hearing about it, and I probably would have seen it just so I could give my review on it. Daniel Craig actually has been a pretty good James Bond. He's been one of the best I've seen uh, in a long time. And my personal favorite, me, was Timothy Dalton. So I liked him. But yeah, man. But you guys just stay safe, be safe. Said this wasn't going to be. I don't think this was a long broadcast. We've been here since 41, 45, almost 42 minutes. Okay, so we did good, doing good here. Please donate to this channel. Gavin Richard Esquire, Google Pay. And I'd also ask if you guys could please subscribe to this channel. Any newcomers that love to be here. Now, before I go, I want to tell you I'm trying to bring in some new guests pretty soon. As you can see, I told y'all I was going to get the podcast together. So you see, I got the headphones and I have the microphone here. I have my interface. Eventually, I definitely will move to doing a podcast like on Apple or Anchor. So you guys can hear my thoughts on latest subjects because a lot of things. And definitely I can do projects for different people. So I'm capable of doing voiceover work if you guys need that. Um, I'll I'll do a video on all on that so you guys can check it out. But I'm gonna head out, guys. You be safe. You be blessed. I'll probably see y'all tomorrow because usually I'm dropping videos every now and then. God bless you. God love you. And what's up? Oh, we got one more person that came in. If they want to say something, say something. Like and subscribe. Check out the links. Okay, they don't want to say nothing. Let me see if I can find that other link that I had uh, that I'll share with you guys so you will have that in the chat. You'll be able to go to it directly, or it's in the description. I think I did put everything in the description. Let's see. All right. Well, it's in the description, guys, on the Cosby issue. But you guys be safe and be blessed, okay? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.